It's now time for Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of the staff nor the management of KWN TV 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Now, let's go Around Town on KWN TV 7.
Well, hello. This is Rex and Dex.
Yes, it
And
is.
the gentleman sitting in between us needs no introduction because he's on Channel 12 and he's their weatherman and has been there for a couple of years. So we're going to let him ask him some
That's right.
questions of how long. And that is a good question. When did you start with Channel 12, Patrick?
About 30 years ago.
Gosh,
30
dang.
years ago.
couple,
Oh, my goodness.
couple decades and a couple and a half.
3.
That's a,
Yeah,
Who's counting?
couple and a half
Yeah.
decades.
That's great. Well, how did you go about getting that job? I'm sure you got some knowledge about weather and all that stuff.
Yeah, at the time I was working at the Weather Channel. I worked there from 86 to early 90, and I was a lead forecaster and was on air part-time, did some radio work, and had a good friend that was working in the Chattanooga market, and he said, well, do you have any interest in working this? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, we need somebody to work the 11 o'clock show. And so I came up and worked the 11 o'clock show, and I guess things worked out. And 30 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. Now, where did you originally move into
I went.
Dade County?
I went to college at Florida State, originally from southern Louisiana, about an hour north of New Orleans. But from there, my first job was at a little smaller station in Albany, Georgia, WALB, and
They call it Albany.
Albany, yeah.
Albany, yeah.
So that was the
I've
only
never heard
station
that.
they had, and from there I worked at the Weather Channel for 4 years, and got up here in early 1990, and you know, you never plan on staying in a place, but you know, this became home, and you know, the family loved it, and growing up, you know, and growing up with Dex
kids,
and a lot
yeah.
of the other people around Dade County, and we're blessed to be here. I don't think there could be a better place to
Oh
be.
yeah. It's almost like you were born and raised here, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially where your kids were.
Yeah, they were.
Your kids were.
Yeah.
But is that unusual for one to stay that long at a station?
It is
Station?
in some respects. You know, some people stay at a station for a couple of years and they'll move on and try to what they call climb markets, get to a bigger station, a bigger city, and try to get as far as they can. And you know, your earning power can be a little bit greater in the bigger markets that you can get into.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, some people kind of get content and kind of are satisfied with where they are and like where they, where they settle and enjoy family life. And you know,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I am. Family came before my
Oh,
career,
yeah.
and you know, you
Well,
kind of get your priorities, God, and then family, and then your
Because that
job.
determines where you're going to. Your kids don't want to move away from school or whatever.
No, and then you know, they could probably make things pretty rough on you if you kind of moved in an inopportune time. So
You sound like me though. I like my ruts.
you know, sometimes we're content and we get comfortable,
Exactly.
and we're not like Dex, who kind of like skipping around and hobnob around the
Yeah.
globe. So
Yeah.
Going-
Unfortunately.
think
I
he's
wish I
going-
could
He's got
be.
another trip planned, so I don't know whether he's going to.
Yeah,
Make it
well, and
hot.
you've become a big fixture in the community, wouldn't you think?
Oh,
I
don't
certainly
know.
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember in particular the tornadoes. Well, was it of 11 or maybe it was
yeah,
the next year?
It was
But
2011.
I remember the tornado. I remember when those happened, and I don't remember if it was that or the next year. But there was a point in which you were broadcasting for it seemed like several hours consecutively, just like on call or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it can happen. You know, it probably started with that blizzard of '93,
Oh,
to
yeah.
where you were at the station for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
And at that time, a lot of people just didn't have power, so they'd listen to us on the radio. But we tried to stay on and try to communicate and try to inform people what was going on. And from there, each kind of weather event kind of took on, you know, its own little life.
Yeah.
And the tornadoes were another one of those
Right.
events that people kind of remember back and say, wow, that was something. And you know, I'm just thankful that, you know, hopefully I was there to help just a little bit.
Well, those two particular times, it just got out of hand, especially with the snow. I mean, I'm surprised that somebody didn't lose their life. Of course, we did lose 2 lives with the tornado, but I'm surprised people didn't lose their life, you know, with that.
Yeah,
snow.
warnings and alerts and information have come a long way in the last 50 years,
yeah.
and it continues to get better. Before, you'd have the weather radios, and they're still useful, but now people's mobile devices,
Right.
you can get any information that you need to, it'll just ding on your phone, and so we're able to get alerts and information to folks a lot quicker than we could just 2 or 3 years ago. So it's really, really come a long way.
I knew with that snow, I think it was on Friday that it started, and it's not going to snow. But anyway, I stopped at the store, booked up with eggs and bread and milk and all that stuff, and 3 days later,
Bread and
I
milk.
didn't have anything to eat. All my kids, everybody stopped at my house to eat, so
Yeah.
we cooked to the last thing. But well, did y'all predict the snow that we had?
I thought we'd see a little. I thought we'd see maybe an inch or two, but we got 3. Some areas had 3.5 inches.
Yeah, and I think up on the mountain it was more.
yeah,
We had 3
yeah.
inches at New England. I went down and measured.
It was really interesting. It was one of those situations Saturday morning where it came in at a perfect time. It came in about 6:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock. And that's usually the coldest part of the morning that you'll have. If this would have come in at 9 or 10 o'clock,
It wouldn't have-
we would have just had a rain-snow mix and nothing would have stuck because
Yeah.
temperatures would have been warmed up enough. But it came in at a perfect time. For once, we hadn't had snow around here in about 5 years.
know.
And this was just a perfect time event to where it snowed pretty moderately for about 3.5 hours, right at the perfect time, and gave us that accumulation. And it was amazing. By the afternoon, it was all gone. And by
yeah.
5 o'clock with the sun out, it was 50 degrees.
That's right.
So what a day.
And the few days before that, it was 75 degrees.
Oh
It's
yes,
just- it's
70.
crazy weather.
Yeah, 75 degrees. And last week we had a very, very wet week where we had 4 to 6 inches of rain, and everything got really saturated. The creeks and streams got really swollen, even over the banks. And that's why I'm really concerned about the rain that we're getting right now.
Oh yeah, I did get enough snow to make me some snow cream. We were always told as kids, don't eat the first snow. That was all what I was doing. But anyway, I made me 2 big bowls of snow cream.
How was it? Pretty good.
Oh God, it was delicious.
Has
and I get it out now and dip it out, and it's real hard. But I stick it in the microwave just for a second. It just fluffs right back up. So it's just well. Anyway, it's been. You've been on the weather. I guess what's the guy at Channel 3? What's his name?
Paul Barris.
Have you been here longer than him?
No, he got here a few years earlier. He got here in the mid and late 80s.
Yeah, and the Channel 9 is.
Yeah.
I think they've had a couple of new ones.
Yeah, David's been here for quite a while, 10, 15 years. So most of the weather people have actually been here, a pretty long time
Yeah.
compared to a lot of stations.
Does anybody up at the church give you a rough time because you predicted the weather wrong? Or
Yeah, Brother Eddie kind of mentions
Yeah,
it in
he
the sermons every
mentions it
now and
every
then.
once in a
So,
while.
yeah, he kind of likes to remind me that I'm human.
Oh yeah, but it's great. But I think it's fascinating. So you went to where did you get your training at Florida State?
Yeah,
then?
yeah, that's where I got my degree and bachelor's in meteorology and a minor in communications and math.
Yeah.
And
That-
so, that was a
that's really
long,
inter-
long time ago.
That's
but,
really interesting. Well, it paid enough to get your kids through school and college and all that stuff, or you like the rest of us, you're still paying. You never get kids paid off. So.
they still come and try to eat off of me, so it's hard to break their plate.
Oh yeah.
Right, Dex?
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
mean,
Well,
I
I
cannot
guess you've
confirm
met
nor deny.
You've met a lot of interesting people, I guess, in your time at Channel 12.
Yeah, you see them coming and go, and you see some folks kind of move on in and move on out and go to bigger places, and you say, "Wow, I remember when he or she was here, or remember when that celebrity was here during this event." But it's just part of it.
Yeah.
Just part of it.
Well, I'm glad you predicted the snow, though, because that was well, I got up and I said, gee, it looks awful light outside. And I finally went to the window and looked out, and I said, we got a big snow
Yeah,
here. So,
yeah. It started looking a bit more positive that the evening before. So Friday evening, it looked like everything was going to shape up and the timing was going to come together. But still, it's hard to predict whether you're going to get 3 or 4 inches or 1 or 2. So I went on the 1 or 2 type side, and it was just a bonus to get that other amount of snow. But we didn't think it was going to last too long. And the biggest thing is that for the first time in 5 years, I got outside and you could hear kids kind of giggling and playing, and first time some of these kids have seen a pretty good snow.
Oh, yeah.
So
They saw it
it's
for
just
the
one of
first
those
time.
things. But probably, with the rain that we had last week and what we're expecting, that's kind of the biggest challenge today. That's going to be the biggest thing that I need to convey is how serious this flood threat may be over the next 24 to 48
Well, they just
hours.
had a lady in Chattanooga that tried to drive through it,
Yeah.
and she thought she could walk out, and she stepped out of her car, and it just washed her, and she just happened to wash into some trees and called on the cell phone
Oh,
saying,
wow.
"Come and get me.
Well, I didn't hear
I'm in
about
a
that.
tree."
Yeah, it's amazing. People, do not realize the power of rushing water. You pick up a gallon or 2 gallons of water. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but can you imagine that moving at 10, 15 miles an hour and a big volume of water can just take you away? And that's why it's extremely dangerous with flash flooding and creek and river flooding. And unfortunately, I think we're going to be very prone to that over the next 48 hours. And the rain may not get out of here until early Thursday
That's
morning.
That's what they're saying.
So
That's what they're saying.
after 4 to 6 inches of rain last week, I think we're going to see another, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 inches of rain locally, and the creeks and the soil can't handle it. We're getting no solar help, no
That's the reason a lot
sunshine.
of trees are falling too.
Yeah,
because of that.
yeah, and if we have a few thunderstorms with the front coming through Wednesday night and have a wind gust of 30, 35 miles an hour, then you're going to have a problem there too. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a 2 or 3-fold problem with the flash flooding, the creek flooding, and perhaps some winds that could cause some trees may have to, may be falling over
Yeah.
the next
Man.
couple of days.
Were you
Scare me to
here when
death
they
over
had the
here.
big?
Well, I don't want to mean to
No,
scare.
I'm
I
just
just
kidding.
wanted to make sure that people are aware this is a distinct possibility
yeah.
with
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you here when they had the big flood down at Wildwood? Were you here then? I don't remember what year that was.
They,
I can't remember what.
I'm trying to remember what they've had 2 or 3 floods, but I don't recall which year you're talking about.
Well,
But
the reason I was talking about, you were talking about how powerful it was. The railroad and Highway 11 run right together right before you
Yeah.
get to Highway 299, and that washed out a huge gap.
yeah,
I mean, it just washed that right out from under the railroad. And there was a lady that lived down there, B. Ford.
Mhm.
She ran into that water not knowing how bad it was at that particular time on Highway 11. And it washed her out of her car,
Mm.
under the railroad, and they found her way down in the field,
oh my
where
goodness,
she survived it.
yeah.
Well, she was a mean lady, though.
Right.
But she was
Sure.
a good lady. I loved her to death. But that was how powerful
Mean,
it was.
good lady.
And then I think they had someone there a lady had her kids in the car, went over the hill and down into one of the side roads up there, and it just, washed her away. And she just panicked.
I wonder how many of these people you're talking about are watching this show right now.
I don't
Getting
know.
angry.
I don't know. We
Rex
got everybody
Blevis.
scared to death.
Rex covered his bases though.
Yeah. Now we got everybody scared to death.
Well, it's the old adage: "Turn around, don't drown." That's the old
exactly.
thing that they always try to tell folks and try to tell kids at school and
I've never
things
heard
like
that. Turn around when the water's rushing this way. You turn this way. Is that what
Yeah,
you mean?
well, you turn your car around.
You
don't
turn your
drown.
Oh, the car. Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
about to say.
that's
I don't
when
know
you're
how that
driving.
would
Don't
help
drive
you.
through any water that you can't see.
There's been several people flooded out over by the hang gliders, the road that goes around
That's
that road.
that's a very flood-prone area.
Yeah.
Sells Lane, that's right past the high school, and back in that area, that floods a lot. And I think the road is closed there now. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to have probably moderate to heavy flooding on Lookout
Yeah.
Creek.
Well, the lady that went off, they had, rails up to not go, and she went around it.
Yeah.
And the minute she got past that she realized that it was too late. Then she just, luckily that it didn't wash her on down further, and she clung to a tree.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Patrick, it's been good talking to you, and I didn't realize. Somebody had asked me before how long he's been here. I said, forever. I don't know how long it's been. For 30
Forever.
years, it's really a great time to spend in one spot like
Mhm.
that. Where is your family? I mean, your mom and dad and all that?
Louisiana, southern
They're in
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. I guess you get down and does it take you back long to get back into the lingo down there? From
I
I don't hear any Louisiana.
Well, I
right.
don't pronounce my INGs correctly. I just go fishing instead of fishing.
Oh yeah, well everybody.
That's part of it. That's around here too.
Yeah. I tell everybody, that I said there's two things that I have several Russian friends, and I was trying to help them, and I said and one guy I said, is it easier in Russian? He asked somebody else.
Kazakhstan,
Is it easier?
not Russia.
Pavel and his
Yes,
buddy said, is it
Kazakhstan.
easier to learn Southern English or Northern English? And I said, well, probably Northern English, because we don't use any G's, on the end of our letters. We say y'all and and things like that. So it's good teaching.
Most
that.
people don't seem to say those. They just say them all the time.
Them.
Them people.
Yeah.
Them people.
Them people over there.
Yeah. But what I taught the ones in Russians that I know in Florida, shotgun was one word, and saying y'all. I said that's the first two words you got to. And so one of them came up here a year or two after that, and I said, hey, tell them what two words that I taught you. They said shotgun and y'all. Just right on.
Well, now we've just evolved into Rex telling random stories, which is great. But I think that means you ran out of questions for Patrick. I want to ask one more.
All right.
Because I've been asked this a lot about snowfall. You said this was the first time in 5 years we had a good snowfall.
Right around here. You've had some mountain dustings and things like that, but around here, a general snowfall of 2 to 4 inches. This is the first one we've had in a while.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was wondering how often does it seem to snow? I guess I don't really keep up with it because when you said 5, I was thinking maybe in a couple years.
Yeah.
You say 5.
Yeah,
like,
it's been
wow.
close since 2015.
Okay.
And normally we should get about 3.5 inches of snow a year. That's our average amount of snow. But we've just been missing them to our south, to the north, and and back in the 80s, early 90s, and we had several snows each year. But it just kind of runs in cycles.
I remember when I was a kid, it seemed to snow every year.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped. And I thought that was just me being a kid imagining it snowed. Like everything's better when you're a kid, but I guess
we've had a cycle where we hadn't had a lot of snow, and
Right.
this is the first year we've had a pretty good snow enough to track a rabbit.
Yeah, well, the weather pattern has changed because I know when I was a kid in November, it was always cold.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cold. Now it's, shirt sleeve weather. Usually.
Yeah.
Well, we're certainly glad we got to get Patrick back, and he's got to go to work, so we're going to let
Thank y'all
him
for
go, and
having
we're
me.
going to take a break, and we'll be right back, okay? Thanks, Patrick.
Hey, that cold weather is coming, and it's never too early to get your winter supplies from Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Everything you need to wrap pipes under the house. Winterize around the doors. Make sure your outside faucets are protected, and keep those drafts from coming through the windows. Get your supplies for fall and winter for the home and farm today. Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Telephone 706-462-2071.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day and injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call now and learn how to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
NL Tax and Bookkeeping is ready to serve all of your tax needs. Nancy Anderton's been serving the tri-state area since 1978. Now you can get your taxes prepared with no out-of-pocket expenses. Ask about up to a $1,200 refund advance. It's fast, easy, safe, and convenient. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Questions about the Affordable Care Act? We have those answers too. And we offer a free form price comparison. Experienced and professional tax services. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829.
Okay, we got our next guest here is Kyle Westmoreland. And but first, before Kyle comes on, we're going to show some pictures of the father-daughter dance. I think it's at Davis Elementary School or middle school. So we're going to show those first, and then Kyle's going to come on and read his speech. And we'll ask him a few questions about where he goes to school and that sort of thing. So here's some pictures of the father-daughter dance at Davis.
Nice.
I guess we can still talk. These are just
Yeah,
some
we can.
photos of the father and dance. It looked like they had a real good time there.
That's what they did. I kept wondering about dads with more than one little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it looks something like that right there.
Yeah. Well, that was great. I think they do that every year for a little fundraiser or something at Davis School. Okay, now this is Kyle Westmoreland. And where do you go to school at?
Dade Elementary.
Dade Elementary. And you won the Optimist Club oratorical.
Well, I was close.
You what?
I lost by 1/4 of a point.
Oh, you lost by
1/4.
1/4. Are you kidding? But I understand you had a really good speech. So at this time, we're going to let him read his speech to us that he had, and he almost made it to the top. But he's got a broken hand, which is not going to interfere with his reading at all. So we're
Because
going to let
he
him
was
read.
banging on the table so hard when he was reading. He was like,
Yeah.
you know.
So I want you to listen to what Kyle has to tell us in his speech. Okay, Kyle, go ahead, right ahead. And
You can stand up if you want. You'll have to take this with you, or you
Yeah.
can sit here. It's up to you.
there you go. Just read it out loud to us.
Just imagine a world without boundaries. If I imagine a world without boundaries, I would imagine my mind to be less foggy, more outgoing, and focused. Anxiety. It comes in many forms and monsters. My anxiety is silent. Sometimes you would not notice a change on the outside, however. Other times I'm stressed on the inside and I can't manage simple tasks. People call me lazy when in reality I'm just overwhelmed. Stephen King once stated, "Quiet people often have the loudest minds." My anxiety, along with ADHD, started when I was 6 years old. At first, my teacher, along with my parents, struggled to understand. I don't think anyone understands how stressful it is to explain what's going on in your head when you don't even understand it yourself. In first grade, my teacher encouraged my mom to have me tested for ADHD. Even then, my anxiety showed on the outside. I would destroy my binder along with erasers and even my own clothing. Homework that should have taken 30 minutes took hours. I guess stigma is hard to overcome even as a parent. The last thing my parents wanted to do was put me on medication. My parents would ground me to try to resolve my behavior. They also tried using oils and vitamins. My parents decided to take me to a counselor. My first time going was surprisingly fun. I remember me and the counselor would talk about what is going on in life while we battle with toys. He would ask some personal questions, some not. When he met with my parents, he suggested that I be on medication. I will never forget the look of fear when my mom first gave me my meds. She was nervous about the effects, though I wasn't worried. And after a while, I started to feel focused. I decided to make a huge comic book. My parents were blown away. They hadn't seen me like that before. I could tell they knew they had made the right decision for me. Even after everyone telling them how awful it would be, I remember my mom even cried. When I went back to school, my grades started to improve and I felt more confident in myself and my work. Making friends became easier and I was no longer the kid who chewed on his pencils. Helen Keller once said, "All the world is full of suffering but is also full of overcoming." Mental illness is full of stigma, not only for the person with the illness, but also for the family. If society could learn to remove the boundary that is stigma, maybe more kids would know the feeling of overcoming. Today, I have overcame that boundary. I am able to play sports where I was too anxious to play before, even though sometimes I still have that feeling when I'm at a wrestling tournament or when I'm taking a test. My palms start sweating, shaking, and my heart starts racing. However, God turns coal into diamonds with just time and pressure. I like to think He's doing the same for me. I know there's nothing I can't do or overcome because I believe in myself and have the courage to not let anxiety or stigma be my boundary.
That was very good. That was really good. Very, very mature. So, what grade are you in now at school?
5th.
In the what? I'm sorry.
5th.
Sixth grade.
5th grade.
Oh, 5th grade.
Yeah,
okay.
5th grade.
All right.
And who's your teacher?
Miss Moore.
Miss Moore. All right.
Okay.
And I'm curious, you mentioned a comic book. You created a big comic book? Well, that's interesting. I tried to do that once and then gave up after 5 minutes of it. So the focus and dedication
Yeah.
is amazing to me.
But I can relate to you with anxiety. I have anxiety attacks, so I can relate to that. And it's really hard to explain to somebody when you do have anxiety of exactly what it is, unless they've had anxiety. And I've tried to explain to my daughters how I felt, all that. They just didn't understand. But anyway, I use medication. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the only time it's bad is when you don't try to get the medication that, calm you down and and where you can live a really normal life with that. But do you make good grades at school?
Sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes.
Okay.
He's an honest boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the true leaders of our nation coming, the honest ones.
Unfortunately, when I was your age, I went to school just to have a good time, so I didn't make good grades, but I got through it anyway. So it's not always a.
I was always right here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a good B student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just glad to get out. So what's your mom and dad's name now?
Joshua and Susie.
Okay, all right. And I knew some Westmorelands that used to live behind us. Is Ella Westmoreland? Are you kin to any of them? She's a lady that lives right there in Mountain View subdivision. But anyway, I just wondered if you might be kin to them. They were real good friends of ours, and my kids always growing up with her kids were good.
So how did you decide what kind of speech you wanted to write? What did they tell you had to do?
Well, they only told us that our topic was just imagine a world without boundaries,
Okay.
and then they just let us do it. But some people, they would go off topic and start talking. I remember this one kid when we were going against each other. He went way off topic and started talking about jumping contests. Yeah. And, I got through the first round and I almost got through the second one.
That's no problem. I mean, and of course there's always the next go around, right? Or next year. Yeah, I remember I did this contest every year when I was a kid, and one year I did really well. I think just the 1 year.
Yeah.
So you took it and you decided to do something about mental illness. So what inspired you to do that? Was that your idea, or did you, you quoted some writers here, did you read something and think about it, or where did you get the idea?
Well, my mom gave me a tiny base. She gave me this much.
Okay.
And I added to it.
Okay, so your mom gave you a basic platform and you just built on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Did it help you to write all this down and to give that speech? Did it help you out to adjust to it and all that?
Yeah.
That's really good. And I know you mentioned in there too that when you went back to school you were calmer and and stuff like that. Well, that's really great. Are you going to enter it next year too, or are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking of using the same story.
Oh, are you?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. You might change a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can change it a little
15%.
bit.
Right.
Okay. Well, listen, we're glad to have you with us today, and we're glad that your mom and dad. Did your papa bring you down here, or somebody bring you down?
My dad.
Your dad. Okay. Well, we're glad that he brought you down. So, good luck for next year, and good luck in the rest of school. School will be over with in about 2 or 3 more months.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
You're almost there. Almost to summer break.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back with another guest, or we'll have some more information that we need to talk about. So we'll be right back.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever your need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Gigabit Internet residential service is now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber in Jackson and Marshall County. Residential gig service is now available for only $79.95. Call today to have your gig service installed at 256-437-5000. High-speed fiber residential gig internet service now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber. Business and commercial customers can get gig service too. Call for pricing 256-437-5000. Gig service from North Alabama Electric Co-op. 256-437-5000.
Landers McClarty Ford, Fort Payne, Alabama, home of America's hardest working truck. Right now, find that 2019 Ford F-150 XL MSRP price $35,360. Landers McClarty price $29,570. See them today. 0% financing up to 72 months. The home of America's hardest working truck. Landers McClarty Ford, 1916 Glen Boulevard, Fort Payne, Alabama. On the web at LandersMcClartyFord.FortPayne.net.
The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Okay, I'm just going to bring you up to date on a few things that I've got notes about here.
You looked at me. Are you bringing me up to date, or?
I'm bringing you up to date and the audience up
right
to
on.
date.
Bring me up.
One thing is the Dade County Trenton Preservation Committee.
Okay.
We had applied for a grant through the Georgia State Heritage Association of Georgia, and we received a $20,000 grant from them to help with the roof.
That's a lot of dollars.
On the courthouse. And after we had that 3 inches of snow, I thought about that because they was telling us if we could have the snow as big as the one had back when, 36 inches of snow, that roof would probably fall in.
Well, Rex, what are they going to do with that court building anyway?
Well, we're trying to get the money through splosh tax and through this $20,000. That's going to help pay for we got all architectural drawings done.
Oh, I know, but I mean after, like if they get it all spick and spam and whatever, what are they going to do with it? What's going to be in it?
All right, the Historical Society's going to move in there.
Oh, okay.
They're going to try to get one lawyer wants to come in and have an office there. Okay. And then we want to get in the museum down here can have displays up there of stuff, the military museum. Mm-hmm. So the downstairs is going to be mostly offices, and the chamber. Mm-hmm. If we ever get the chamber back and get it started again, it's in limbo right now.
Right.
And the chamber's going to also be in there because they got signs over on the road for tourist information, and they can't even find the chamber. And if they do,
who could? I didn't know where it was for a long time.
I don't know where it's at now. So
you don't?
No.
Well, I guess that's true. I don't know now either. Yeah.
But at least we'll be able to have that, and you can have weddings, you can have receptions, meetings, any kind of public meetings. The whole courtroom is going to be available. So that's one thing.
For public meetings?
Yeah, for public meetings.
Just for like political public meetings, or just anybody?
Anybody can go in there.
Like me and my 10 buddies can walk in there and just start trashing the place. Right? No.
If we ever get it fixed, if you go in and trash, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
What about we sit there and we play a rousing game of checkers, like a checkers tournament?
Well, I don't know about that.
Video games.
I don't know about that either. But the thing about it is that we need a place like that where somebody can. If somebody comes in, a politician comes in, it'd be a nice place to have a reception for.
Oh
them
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
a little venue,
Yeah, a little
speaking venue,
for that.
the oratorical contest.
Yeah, we
maybe.
could have that in there also. But anyway, and two, in this coming year, we're going to have the splash tank. You were asking about how we can have money to build that building. They're going to put money in that splash to completely redo it. So that hopefully the new splash will pass it. Just to list a few things that the splash tax has got, because we got the high school was built with splash money, the gym, the football fields, the baseball field.
Oh, wait, football fields.
Fields.
You mean the two?
Yeah.
The practice field and the, okay, so.
Exactly. And
the baseball field.
And also the fire departments. We got the best fire departments anywhere in any counties, and they're updated every year through splash money. And also we got a theater or an auditorium in the school that we didn't have before. And also the jail was built with splash money. So that's just a few of the things. And the best thing about a splash tax is that half of the money is paid by people just passing through. So if just a 1 cent sales tax, and right now it's bringing in over $200,000 a month, which is not bad just for a 1 cent sales tax. And most of it comes from people that buying gas or coming in from Alabama or Tennessee and buying groceries. And of course, the other thing is my favorite all-time subject is Georgia Power.
Right. Yes. Favorite.
In my last letter that I put in the Dade paper, I'd read in the Chattanooga paper that Georgia Power was going to ask for $3 billion.
$3 billion?
Billion with a B. Billion,
as some people say.
Anyway, they ended up
don't you run away. I see you over there
dropping it
going
down
in and out.
to $1.7 billion is what they actually got. And the reason that I keep bringing this up, I know somebody might read the Dade paper. Jeff Mullis probably reads the Dade paper. And I want him to know, and all the senators and all of Atlanta politicians, that the customers for Georgia Power, their bill is going up 7 to 8% more than what they're already added on to.
When's that?
It started January the 1st.
Oh, it's already.
So if you notice an increase in your bill on January the 1st, that's because of this and what they've already acquired from the 5 or 6% that they get now from the Vogel plant that they're building.
Right.
But people need to know that they're not through that, and I can't get any help from anybody. And I was talking to a lady the other day, I won't call her name, and we were talking about that, and she agreed with me that it's wrong what Georgia Power is doing. But they had...
I wish they'd just get my address right. Georgia Power.
Well...
It's such a
she
headache.
made something that really stuck with me, and I probably knew that in the back of my head, but she said there's so much money involved with it that the schools won't do anything about it. Like we have 180 school systems in Georgia, public schools, and they all pay
180 school systems
of state-sponsored schools.
Seems like there'd be more. But.
In Dade County school, we pay $144,000 a year into Georgia Power with these new taxes that we've got.
Just with this tax?
For this
That's
one and the
extra.
other taxes. It's probably more than that now. It's probably closer to $200,000 that we pay, which would be about $1 million.
It's a lot of dollars.
And because of that, the school systems won't do anything about it because I've asked the state superintendent to check and see how much they're paying. And I also asked the school system, the school board, to do something about it. And they just sat there like a knot on a log and didn't do anything about it either because of the money that they get. Everybody, all the senators and all that are at the same, I call it the trough. They all line up at the trough for Georgia Power to shovel money into them.
That's funny.
That's just a gross way of saying it, but that's the truth. That it's because of the money.
Well, tell us what you really think, Rex.
I know.
That's
I'm
what
not
we're
going to
here
give
for.
up on it. I'm going to still, every time I see something, I'm going to mention.
We're going to put it on your tombstone if we have to.
Georgia Power hates Rex.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, if it comes down to that.
But it really is a shame that that we can't get something done about it.
Mm.
Let's see if I've got anything else. So I know all of you has heard about the virus that's going on in China right now.
Uh-huh.
And Dex and I were arguing about, they say now that I got it down that there's 40,000 cases in China.
I don't know if it's that high. I'm thinking that was 14.
I know they had 1,000 deaths.
Are you sure 1,000 deaths?
They had I heard that this morning, but I think I heard this 40,000.
Really?
I think
these numbers are much larger.
USA has 100 cases that's test positive for it.
100?
100.
Are you sure? I think it's still about 9.
No, it's 100.
Okay.
I'm getting my information
All right.
straight from the horse's mouth, as they say.
Okay.
But anyway, we've had one American death in it. I did hear that too. That he was in this.
He was in China.
He was in China.
Or was it a woman? In Wuhan, in the city where it started. I remember that. Yeah.
And they came over and he came back home and he passed away with it. So it's a deadly.
Oh, at home. Oh, I see.
It's a deadly.
I think there are, I think 4 Americans on the ship off the coast of Japan also that they won't let the people get off because the virus is spreading in the ship.
Yeah.
And I think there are 4 American citizens on that ship also.
Yeah, I think there's 3 ships, aren't there? That
Yeah.
out.
There's collectively, I don't remember, well over 1,000 passengers.
One landed in
many
New Jersey,
passengers.
one in Japan. They wouldn't let them dock, and another one did land in Taiwan. In Taiwan, and it's this all of them had tested positive for some of them. Some of them they're quarantining them on those boats for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Something just sitting there. You know, they can't do anything.
Terrible. That's horrible.
It
Just
is-
sit on a boat
it's awful.
for weeks.
It's absolutely
maybe die there on a boat.
But anyway, that's about all I've got. But we've got another lady that's going to come on and tell us a little bit about Avon products, and her name is Nikki McDowell.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be on in just a couple minutes and tell us about Avon, which is an old product that's been sold for over 100 years.
Way to give her a good head start. It's
Yeah.
an old product.
Yeah, it is.
Sold for years.
Well,
and
she's the one that told me how old it was.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll be back in just a
Fair
minute,
enough.
okay?
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes. We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College.
It's Bath Wrap's Simply Transformative Celebration Sale. Call now and get $600 off your new tub or shower, plus a free designer upgrade worth $1,200. And call before the end of today's program and get a free Bath Wrap safety package. Bath Wraps can transform your tub or shower from something like this into something like this in just one day. Whether you're looking for a beautiful new tub or shower, the time is now to transform your old, outdated bathroom into the custom Bath Wrap's bathroom of your dreams. Choose from hundreds of colors, styles, patterns, accessories, and safety features like custom grab bars, no-slip shower floors, and seated showers. Your new Bath Wrap's bathroom is backed by a lifetime warranty and installed in as little as 1 day. Call now to set up your free, no-obligation consultation during Bath Wrap's Simply Transformative Celebration Sale.
Call 855-288-8412. That's 855-288-8412.
Have lunch or dinner at Guthrie's, home of the original Golden Fried Chicken Finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthrie's can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthrie's has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthrie's, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those Golden Fried Chicken Fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthrie's, not fast food, good food fast.
A hassle-free, so easy buying experience that you deserve is waiting for you at the all-new Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in beautiful Kimball, Tennessee.
Choose from the Chevys, Buicks, and professional-grade GMC trucks.
Get low rates and fast, affordable financing to fit everyone's budget. So come get the best buying experience imaginable.
Where I promise we will make buying a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC so easy. Shop us online anytime at RiversideChevroletBuickGMC.com.
A small bank with big service. Citizens Bank and Trust, offering a wide range of services, including online banking. Pay your bills, manage your account anytime, 24 hours a day. Your account balance is only a phone call away as well at 657-1234. Or visit our convenient locations. Lookout Mountain, Georgia, Higdon, Alabama, at our main branch on Highway 11 in Trenton. Citizens Bank and Trust, 657-5678. A community bank that believes in the community. Citizens Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're back, and before anyone says anything, Rex, I just got to mention, I just keep looking at your car out there through the window, and it's just cracking me up. Rex is parallel parked into 3 different parking spaces right here in the corner of the building, and it's
nobody's going
hilarious.
to come out and say anything as long as it's raining, so I'll drive off. And
Well, you're free labor. Of course, nobody's going to say anything. No.
Yeah.
No.
We're doing an important service here.
Oh, I know.
You want me to get wet,
Yeah,
yeah,
and you can park wherever you want.
Here.
That's one of the perks. You know, I
Okay.
get to wear this tie, and you get to park
All right,
wherever you want to park.
Let's introduce her. This is Nikki McDowell.
Yes.
And she is the local Avon lady. And Avon lady, I can remember, Lord, 70 years ago, that my folks bought and ordered stuff from Avon. That was a big deal then.
So it's tried and true.
Yes. And Nikki, how long have you been? When did you start selling Avon stuff?
I've been selling Avon just over 13 years.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Okay. And we were talking about the little lady that used to come around from. Do you remember what her name was, or do you know who it was?
I know there was Miss Norris. I don't know if that's the one you're thinking of.
It may be the same one, but she used to come by the courthouse all the time selling Avon, and there's always somebody buying stuff from the Avon. So.
I've run into several people that they haven't had a Avon representative since Miss Norris.
Yeah.
So
how does it work for you now? You don't actually go door to door.
I can go door to door. I try to go business to business.
And leave,
Yes.
Yeah.
I reach more people that way. I do have several customers that I do go to their house.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got different areas I go to every 2 weeks. I turn an order in every 2 weeks.
Okay. So do you have a pretty big volume? I mean, customers that buys from you, or is it?
I do. Last year I sold $29,000.
Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good So you just work in Dade County?
Dade County, Jackson County, DeKalb County. I go all the way to Rainsville. I go all the way to Pisgah.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big area.
Work up in Bryant.
Yeah. So
and also in
does
Trenton.
people just call in their order? I know you can get. We were talking earlier about you can go online and order
You
Avon
can order
product.
online. I do have a website. Most people prefer to shop with a rep. So
Okay.
they call me, place an order.
Well, you can get more discounts than they could if they went online and ordered it. They just have to pay whatever they.
Yeah, if
say
they go
it is.
online, they can. If they have a $60 order, they can get free shipping.
Oh, okay.
So, or if they, order through me. So if it's somebody, local, I just go in those areas. I don't go to Chattanooga much. So.
Yeah. So how do you get paid? How do you get paid? You don't get direct pay from Avon. They don't send you a check every month.
No,
do they?
not on my product purchases. I order at a discount and then sell at the book
The regular
price.
price, the book price.
Yes.
So is that how you make all your money, or is it just?
No, I actually earn a little bit off my team. So I earn every 2 weeks. I get a check from Avon for my team sales.
Now, how does that work? You said team.
Team, yes. I have about 50 people under me right now.
Oh.
And so I earn a percentage off of what they sell and what they pay back to Avon.
Okay, so they turn in their order to you, your team.
No, they turn in their order to Avon.
Yeah.
They're independent representatives as well.
Okay. So and then that you get some credit for it when
Yes.
when that done. Well, it's a good way to make a little extra money, and if you make that amount of money that you made $29,000 last year, that's a pretty good paycheck.
I sold 29,000. Yeah.
So what percentage do you get of that? Is it actually your salary then?
Well, it just kind of depends. Certain products we only earn so much. We earn a little bit more off the beauty items and stuff.
Yeah.
So
What is the age of Avon products? How long have they been in business?
they've been in business just over 130 years.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, that's a long time for
Yes.
that.
For much of anything. It's
Yeah.
just a long
It
time in
is,
general.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, they started in
half the age of our nation.
1886. Yeah. 1886. That was before women could even vote.
That's true.
So they
Before they
started
could
with,
vote, they could buy Avon.
Yes.
Yeah.
They could sell Avon.
Or sell
Yes,
Avon.
or sell it too.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Wow, that's unbelievable. And how did you get started with doing this?
Actually, I just wanted a discount on my makeup.
Oh, okay. So you started as a customer and then
Yes.
okay, you were passionate about the product, as some people would say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fair. Totally
Well,
fair.
it's a good product. It's
It's
been
not
around for a
old
long-
product. It's new product.
Yeah, it is.
And we have
up
new.
to date. Up to
Yeah.
date. They're up to date. Yeah.
We have new stuff coming all the time.
They don't just sell rouge and lipstick and all.
And a
eyeliner.
lot of times we have been in the forefront on some of the new stuff like the roll-up eyeliner. Avon is the one that came out with the first roll-up eyeliner.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're modernizing ever so often
Yes.
too. They're
Yes.
ahead of the game. Well, that's really great. So, just if you need something, how do they get in touch with you now if they needed to place an order? If somebody wanted to place an order with you, how do you,
Call.
okay? And what is your number that they can? reach
My
out?
home number is 256-632.
I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Please.
58.
Okay, all right,
That
give
was
it
a lot
to
of
us
fun.
one more time. And this is how you can call if you want to get in touch with somebody that sells Avon. Just call it at this number. It's
256-632. 3758.
3758. So just give Nikki a call and she'll be glad to take your.
But I'm sure you're also, you said you have a website, and I'm
Yes.
sure you have Facebook and social media. And
Yes, I
You
am.
probably even have things like Instagram and stuff like that, just to show the product.
I
Maybe no.
do have Instagram, but mostly Facebook.
Oh, okay, sure. So then where would we find you there on those platforms? What's your website first?
My website is
Uh-huh.
youravon.com/Nikki McDowell.
Your Avon, Y-O-U-R, Avon.com
.com
slash.
NIKKIMCDOWELL.
Okay.
Okay, and if they just type in Nikki McDowell, will this probably.
A lot of times it will come up. If they search my name.
Okay.
And Facebook is
So-
just
It's actually Nikki Michael McDowell.
Nikki Michael McDowell.
Yeah.
There's no Avon in the name or anything like that. Just
No, my personal account. Now I
that's
have
your
Nikki's Avon.
Oh, okay.
I have a page set up with Nikki's Avon.
Okay, that's what I should have said before.
So,
Sorry.
yes.
Yeah.
And then I have a Nikki's Avon Sales and More group.
Okay, so you're all over. You're not hard to find. It sounds
Right.
like okay.
Right.
And I guess you have, a lot of your regulars are here in this area. So
Yes,
So if
yes.
nothing else, somebody could say, "Oh, you buy Avon? Do you use Nikki?" Okay, and then
Yes.
yeah.
I still get referrals, a lot of referrals on Facebook, and
Okay.
I think I had about 5 or 6 new customers last order.
It would have been handy if
So-
we'd had Monda in this because she brought know a little bit more about makeup than me and Dex. do.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't
Well,
have to worry
she was
about
just
that.
impressed that I still go, door to door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And it
every
is-
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
I'm in
fantastic.
Trenton at least every 2 weeks or every Friday usually.
Well, do you live in the Trenton area or out on the mountain? Where do you
I'm
live?
on the mountain.
On the mountain, on Sand Mountain.
Sand
Okay.
Mountain.
Well, see, and I wonder about your regular customers that buy. You say you have someone that'll buy from you every year, like once a year. Is that what people usually do? Or
I have some that buy every 2 weeks. I have some
Oh,
that buy
wow.
once a month.
okay.
So I have some that buy once every 6 months or so.
And so I'm interested in this kind of sales work. I wonder if it gets to a point where it becomes so routine, so clockwork with the same people that it becomes kind of automatic, like you just expect them to call you, or if you still have to consistently text them and call them, hey, just wondering if
To
you're ready
remind
for your
them.
I do send out a reminder text
Okay.
to several people.
Okay.
Everybody doesn't text.
Right.
But a lot of times, you know, especially the ones that I go to their house, you know, a lot of times they will leave me. We'll sit there and go through the book.
Okay.
And they'll give me an order before I leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's good.
All right. Yeah. So you're putting in extra work if one or the other. Yeah. You're still. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great because that's my dad's philosophy too. He always says people do business with people. You know,
Yes.
you got to be in their face if you
Yeah.
want them.
Right.
Even
Face to
if
face.
you've done business for years and years, you still
Yes.
got to just be like, I still care about you. I still want
Yeah.
to do business with you.
yes,
Just to say hello. Hello.
yes.
Well, I think we got enough information on Avon products, and we hope you do
Thank
well
you.
with it.
Thank
and
you.
Monda may be back next week, or she may not. So we don't know. But she would have been much better off with this Avon product than Dex and I are doing.
Well,
But I
don't
think
sell
we
us
did
short,
very-
Rex. Come on.
I think we did very well.
Men sell Avon. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I bet they did.
Yes.
That is good.
Yes.
And
Some men sell
Well,
a
they
lot
sell
of it.
men. Well, they have men's products, though.
They
too,
do.
don't They
They
do.
do.
What all do they have for men? Just real quick. Roll me through that. 'Cause I don't
Cologne,
know.
deodorant.
Sure. Deodorant. Okay.
Sometimes jewelry.
Jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, see, I like jewelry.
I used to have some of that my mother or somebody had. I don't know where I got them. They had a bottle of cologne for men. It was a pistol, like a
A gun.
prize-
We have a car
gun.
right now.
A car.
Mm-hmm.
They have all stuff like that, and those used to be collector's items. You know,
Yes.
that people would collect them. But I don't know what happened to that bottle that I had. It was a gun, though. I probably threw it away or
Probably.
got rid of it or something. Okay, we're going to call it an end today, and we're glad you joined us today. And Dex and I may be back next week, or Mondo, or no, just tune
You never
in
know
at
what
2
you're
o'clock.
gonna get. Yeah, that's the excitement. You got to tune in next week just to see who you're gonna get.
Who the surprise guest is going to be, and that sort of thing. Yeah. But anyway, thank y'all very much, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
You've been watching Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of staff nor the management of KWN Community TV Channel 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Join us every week for another edition of Around Town on KWN TV 7.